I can tell you, no rifle they use down there can bring the helicopter down unless a missile.
No rifle
being used at Galamsey side can bring a helicopter down.
Except a missile.
A missile. Then you might be a marksman. It's flying to engage to shoot either the pilot, but there are two. And they all have the same console. But, or hit the fuel tank for it to, even if you hit the fuel tank and it's leaking, the pilot knows that it's using fuel. And
for said in no wiki any weaker a energy wiki a week I shame on my papa at the far a year 8 a year government official sabi almost free more true plane crash be a Canadian be a the reason why be a master and as a pilot no near Unim ye de fa pilot and one a dorsey pa and easy say ubi or sound bit in the plane ako crashing ne enya kunya a babiti a retired a pilot just or no be churching same ye pa a tray the possible outcome tia a beer and no and a mad that plane here ako crash na what is amount for cancer basic galamsey near money been a train plane no saying on no part they won't believe say bit my son money be unbelieve it now they will believe it pass the probability near high they say there might be a missile in the forest that on bit my son man just be bit my question forest or a shoot a year the petrol tank of the the helicopter and only a possible outcome because when we say a plane as a good pilot on fly a below trees and far in realms because him say when a year or no and a fine wing a hit a dear a din simply bring never banty what do forest and over fly so high on fly so low and man copy bibisa and we think of form or a crew from now much as not playing banner not bar from too much so the question is then a money bar from too much you couldn't quit a this retired a pilot.
Well, first of all, let me reach out your cherished listeners. I mean, my life in the Air Force, having been in there for a while and the past president of the Retired Air Force Officers Association, it's a sad situation. Extremely sad situation to leave your colleagues die carrying very important VIP passengers and to lose their lives. It's very sad. Extremely sad. I don't know. I'm not doing a PRO for the Air Force, but I'm here on my own experience within the Air Force. Some of us were lucky to have been trained in Italy to fly jet fighters, and that's what I was doing. And we're the first jet fighters south of the Sahara. You know. We take this in very serious, and also we are extremely sad. I think the Air Force will not be waiting for an official investigations. And this particular situation, I would say this is not the first time that the Air Force has lost a helicopter flying over a heavily dense populated area. One was about 25 years ago in Etiwa, when they were coming from Kumasi, weather was bad, and they lowered themselves and they hit a tree and killed all the passengers. Almost similar to what happened
in the Tua Forest.
Tua Forest.
This eastern region. Was it the helicopter that was involved in the medical evacuation?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And all 5 on board died?
Yeah, they died, yes. They all died. The helicopter has to come down. Don't forget that. I brought this.
Yeah.
What gives the helicopter power to stay in the air are the rotors. And what gives the rotors the power is the engines. And honestly, I haven't come across that many pilots who like to take off and go and die, suicidal tendencies. Maybe we can go back to the Second War, the Japanese kamikaze.
Yeah.
And not too long ago, there was one in the U.S., Egyptian or something, who started saying prayers, and they thought psychologically he ditched the aircraft. But no pilot would like to take off and say, I'm going to die. That's one thing. How did the Air Force get involved? Normally, Air Force transports government officials from the president, or anytime they request for an aircraft, being a helicopter or being a fixed wing. It's our duty, and that's done in all countries. And I can tell viewers that the records of Ghana Air Force is pretty high. Our accident rate is very low.
The accident rate of the Ghana Air Force
is very low.
Is very low.
Yes, and our reputation. And most of our pilots either locally trained or train abroad, or go abroad to go and do some more courses. And normally, if a government needs a transportation by air, they will originate the request to the Air Force headquarters. And depending on the type of mission, then the Air Force will now get the particular aircraft which can or suitable for that purpose. Now, when that request comes to the Air Force will send it to the station or the base, and then to the squadron that will have the task to perform Accra, Kumasi, Accra, Tamale. It will be their duty to select the aircraft which is going to perform, and the air crew. And the air crew will go. So the air crew, what happens, to go to work in the morning, afternoon, and then you are given the task order that you are to fly A, B, C to this situation. And in our country, where our road system is very bad, they do a lot of transportation of VIPs on helicopters.
On the helicopters.
It's very sad this happened as an accident.
And we've seen even civilians as well. Sometimes the Air Force gives that support to civilians also to fly to. In fact, some of my colleagues who have flown on some of these helicopters to cover stories at the Lubo border and so on. But on a typical day, as you indicated, you report you are chosen and told that you are flying ABCD. What are the protocols? What's the first few things you do before you get in there?
The protocol that you go through, first of all, we've got a task order to fly VIPs or passengers from where to where. Aircraft is selected, pilots are selected to fly. So when, as air crew, you go to near the aircraft you're going to fly, it's your duty to examine externally how the aircraft looks like, or if there's anything wrong with it. Now, if you are satisfied and you go into the cockpit, we have what we call pre-start checks. You do your pre-start checks. If all the parameters in the in the console is okay, then you're allowed to start your engines. And after start, you also go back to check. This is not only to the Air Force, all aviation. After start, you also check your instruments. If they're all right, then you may call the control tower and tell them where you are going.
Right.
And then the height and the rest. Control tower too will relate to you the weather conditions en route. That's what they do. But in this particular case, the pilots were all qualified. The aircraft is qualified because it flies both morning, noon, and night.
I see. If you say the aircraft is qualified, what do you mean?
That means an all-weather aircraft.
The Z9?
Yes.
It's an all-weather aircraft?
All-weather, yes. I mean, it transports people in the night when the pilots cannot even see. They rely on their instruments.
So this is an aircraft that was equipped to fly even with the bad weather or not too good weather?
Yes. I mean, if the weather is so bad, and after it's been relayed to you, the captain, you're on board. If you think it's too bad, you can't. You just scrap the flight and wait for weather to clear. But I don't think the weather between here and Ðëád was so bad. I don't think so.
So, just because that's another narrative, I mean, the weather could have contributed. But then again, you say before they fly, they would get that information.
You get information and get clearance from the control tower. to allow it to go to where you're going. You just don't get up and fly in the air. It's controlled all the time.
So you don't put any premium on bad weather as one of
I don't think so, because if squadron leader must have been flying helicopters minimum about 10 to 12 years. His co-pilot maybe that for a few years. For him to be selected as a captain of VVIP flight might be one of the best.
Yes.
You know, one of the best, you know. I think it's just an accident which happened. I'm planes fall all the time. It doesn't mean I'm not sympathizing with the dead. It hurts me. I also lost my colleagues like that, you know. But what I think we could do or can be done is that you select a height. And the pilot will not select a height to fly over treetops. Treetops is when you are given specific, they go low and look for something. But for safety reasons,
you fly above the trees.
You fly above any obstacle, because a map is there, the topography is there. So you select a height not to go and get into anything.
I see. But then the other narrative, in fact, some of the residents in this Brofido area that our correspondent spoke to say they saw this helicopter fly at a very low altitude. If that's to be considered, or is anything to go by, what would cause something like that?
For that to be considered, if it was flying, I said, you won't have any tree in Ghana here about 2,000 feet. Unless sitting on a mountain or something. But all these things are taken when you are preparing your height. You fly out to be approved by the control tower. You know, they saw the helicopter come low. What caused it to come low? This is the biggest issue.
So the biggest question is, what caused it to come that low?
Yes. And they said they had the engine. It's when these rotors are moving. They sustain you in the air. And if for any reason, technically, something happened and you're coming down, don't forget helicopter ability to use helicopter is like way. If maybe they were close by a school, somewhere, they would have gone there for forced landing. But when you're in a heavily forested area, you don't have time at your disposal. Stuff is coming down, you want to pick it up, and it's not coming. The only thing is that you run into trees. And it takes time to be able to go and find exactly where it hit. It may hit a tree, let's say, first one, maybe 100 yards, and struggling to pick up or go and fall somewhere. But all this thing can be deduced by investigations. So just seeing it and saying that it came low. Why did it come low? This is the biggest question.
And that should be one of the major subjects of the investigation.
That is it. Because it wasn't meant to fly into trees. And he wouldn't take a height just on top of a tree. Okay, he will definitely go up. Even the tree is on top of a hill, they are all taken into consideration to select his height. Or the height would may be given by the control tower. But in this case, the pilot himself will select a height not to run into any obstacle.
Now, if you're flying over a mountainous or hilly area, naturally, even when you're driving, you'll see these mountainous areas having heavy fog over them, and so visibility is low. In such instances, how do you navigate?
Well, pilots are trained to be able to do instrument flying. We have categories of licenses A, B, C, D. But in this particular incident, the captain was master green. That means he could fly in all weather. And if we could fly even at night, where there are no lights, small trouble. And the visibility as we set here, I believe from here to the door should be about 50 meters. But at least 200 to 300 feet, he can see what is ahead of him. And if he can't see at all, he relies on his instrument. The height is, he took off what is maintaining and a direction. You don't fly blindly and follow your route. So as I said, we should find out what happened for the chopper to drop so low to hit a tree.
And that answer we can get how?
We can get it from black box, That's the only thing. And black boxes too is not something which already been found, but you just can't open and get the answer. It might be sent back to the manufacturers, or they come. What happened to Air India? You know, there was a struggle between Boeing and India, and the Indian government said no. So they had to come over, open it, and then decode what it seems like. Because black box, what it does is that it gives you all the parameters of the aircraft. As soon as you take off, it's engaged. Whatever you do can be found in black box. And since both air crew died, the only thing is to go to a black box and find out what happened. Was it an engine problem? What was it? Was it a bird strike? But helicopters don't go without have bird strikes, you know. So all speculations are doubtful. There's other aspect of people thinking maybe some galamseers maybe shot it down.
Well, that's another.
I can tell you, no rifle they use down there can bring the helicopter down unless a missile.
No rifle
being used at Galamsey side can bring a helicopter down.
Except a missile.
A missile. Then you might be a marksman. It's flying to engage to shoot either the pilot, but there are two. And they all have the same console. Or hit the fuel tank for it to. Even if you hit the fuel tank and it's leaking, the pilot knows that it's losing fuel. And it will start looking for somewhere to land. But in the forest area, it's difficult to find somewhere that you can force land. And as the plane cannot be sustained in the air, it's coming on down between you, oh my God. And that is a risk of being a pilot too.
Now, we also got information from my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar, who spent some time in this community, that some of the debris were found 45-minute walk away from the place of impact. How do you explain that?
Every aircraft incident, parts of it, they fly off. And the forest area where it finally landed, there was no road going there. They have to hack. I remember 3 hours after the incident, I was talking to the commander. He said they are now cutting their way through the forest together. But the villagers will have villages in the forest.
Yes.
So maybe it was close to some village, but not the village where you could land. And so they wonder what point of impact it disintegrates. And the parts they collected, honestly, are not parts which can draw attention of the investigation. I don't think they were put. I mean, the skin and things that I saw on television, rotor, wouldn't make any difference. Whatever happens, the rotor must have hit the tree first before the fuselage.
The rotor is what we see going around on the top of it.
And the other airplanes there in the front, but this one is on top.
It's on top of it. So you talk about the wings, but this one, it goes up.
Yes.
But you said the answer to the critical question you ask about why this chopper came this low can be found in the black box.
Only in the black box. You see, he took off from Accra. He gets to a height selected. And he's supposed to fly all that height until he gets to destination.
That's right.
So what caused it? Maybe 10, 20 minutes to destination to come down and hit.
But there are two devices in the black box.
One is a voice recorder.
The cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder.
That's the black box.
Okay.
The voice recorder is communication between the two pilots and the control. So.
Right. So which one of them needs the manufacturer to?
The black box.
I was for the Ankasi Asuma. A year, Papa Penny, retired a year pilot. Chechen Semiji Papa. As a good pilot, or chase this incident, time I don't know office in ABC. Tiwa Forest, Eastern Region, BC, and also a claiming 5 lives. 5 lives. And also, now for the Cráṣh home. Now, that helicopter, that plane, at a time young Cráṣh so the more call was any plane easy to crash. Any plane ultima accident because the probability is high because it flies at night, it also flies daytime. All the weather condition anytime be it me too. And pilot so cry na o tree that plane or be or experience or just more than 10 years experience. So not easy. One plane was qualified to fly in all the weather condition. The partner OG plane was qualified because of any experience and how an name day aqua could do. Na plane ankasa no enye de otwi no nko anetim nipa tu neti anim. So if fans we kra mpo ahon de aba from the other person so timi de eboa no. So odwin kwa echira the ma BBC no all the possible outcome obo amunim pilot ho hwe plane ho niam bebre so na okebi the ma saade ni si no thing so be hu saade no because if you mukwa echa pe ono de or can the home on come on na galamsey na professor na ebesi na sane onyo no beka or can the real thing I bet my den esi ibi mo say weather ni wi mai kuso dodo e no watch say plane anadwo kura etimi tu ibi mo say na atia ba from dodo e no watch say tina na atia ba from no no as a pilot no when himself also fly so high, especially what do be a mountain trees one sane man also fly so high. So when you that time no be fly so low or din they only do that when they are searching for something and our limit baby on more than a fly could do. So when you be sorry no a fly so low so or that wasn't their mission. Their mission was to attend a meeting. Their mission was not to go and search for something in the forest. So DNA mass and see are playing here the bar from. That is the only question. Out you or no, as you speak, I was here finding. And or Kesi say the black box will help them to know the reason why I plane fly so low. A free engine, the petrol and NASA. Mesa Bineko created this problem. Then he see a money buy solo. Say ko hiti duane animal another question. But the money buy solo and sana ko hiti duano and only idea was amazing. Omoshishe. So as you speak in idea ono kase Eastern region 5 lives the same thing happen. Oh, no, so now the friends and then crawl for woman. Nipa 5 pa no muzwai den ashe omko. So this thing no any kwan say didi agro. Ano sa plain part na almost a man for atentam kon investigation idea no. Ono hu ni sa investigation ni na or black box no. And then tell us a black box and this are the core manufacturers for no and some of my the may be cause someone ye almost no money come fast way beam and ye easy sir. So as you speaking in the this retired a year pilot nature say beat my ba say no obishin room ho and a shooty a the petrol tank a bit me on gas sanity but a bit me a say sana na etie. And a ma a discipline day. First of all, a bar from. Secondly, kohiti a diasa in a cannon and sana air the air blaster no. A very quite unfortunate. No bien expected bisa. Now chance the pilot no ya training ye pa when you move or you be a kikafin ye training no. Okay, man ko carry this a important government officials when you move. So as time goes on or say omohwe ni maye say all fly course cra afin so no say nya forest na bibi so si a baby see, because that is the advantage of a helicopter. Ultimate land or baby school park baby but all land or first day a bedding a bit my day a blast no. In some the kind a dorsal on a church ye. Said the wide drink show with my comment while I cash am on your side any BT Akroma.